As the game gets started, we enter in as Florida Tech loses the point initially, but we'll see how this ends up.
And you see that Reinhardt. Oh, you should know I'm a big Reinhardt guy. Oh, they changed the UI too. This will be fun to get used to.
Well, with the current hero bans, we're probably going to see some changes to how these maps are played.
I know, right? The hero bans thing is pretty big. And looks like that's a double kill off the bat for Florida Tech. Oh, but unfortunately, Vicky gets taken out. I also have to get used to the lineup as we start. Danny also finds a pick, followed by Greedy.
And Florida Tech is first to capture the objective.
There we go. We're already coming in strong this season. You know, off the bat with a 100, or hopefully not a 99% capture. That seems to always happen when I watch these ones. I always get to 99 and then lose it, and then it's both 99 and then down to that 1%.
That's how Overwatch is. Florida Tech getting pushed back through the hallway as Jungle Queen and Tracer go around to the upper area.
Looks like Chef is able to find, oh, another one. He finds two. Fortunately, that's, well, Enrod finds another one. Chef's new to me, so I'll have to get used to him. Looks like he might be our new tank. Luckily, he's playing Reinhardt, so he's giving me a good first impression.
And he's doing well off bat. And Hanzo also been very consistent with just getting damage and kills already. Baptiste kind of sitting in the open, but they're keeping them through outside the doorway. As Reinhardt ult comes out,
an aggressive ult too. He's hungry for the kills.
Chief gets two as they're getting flanked by Reaper, and that appears to be Genji.
Pushing him back all the way to spawn. You know, we're coming in hot.
Managed to get the Reaper. And the play kind of settles down for a moment as both teams get back into form.
I know Florida Tech's much more aggressive. I mean, they've always been, you know, pretty aggressive from what I've casted in the past, but this is reminding me of when I first started casting. Back when Ben was on Reinhardt.
Deadeye comes out to keep the space open. As Reinhardt pushes in and getting very low.
Genji almost fell off, but he's able to pull himself back up with that little climb ability he has.
And Florida Tech takes down three. Only Reaper and the support remaining.
Oh my gosh, they pick off Kiriko before she can even get back in. They're relentless.
They're holding this doorway well as the cap approaches full.
Ooh, the Hanzo kind of stall for the last few percentage. I think they're gonna have it.
And they get it. Lucio's not able to touch in time. And point one goes to Florida Tech.
A very aggressive start to start out the game. I wonder if they'll keep up that aggression.
I also noticed they weren't really changing comps at all. Very much running in and trying to imagine playing for ults, but they just didn't have time.
Yeah. They kind of just stood at that doorway and just let them ride one by one. We saw the Hanzo ult. We saw Reinhardt's ult. That was very aggressive. I think I saw Baptiste ult. Yeah.
And we also saw the Cassidy ult.
Okay. Oh yeah, that was comboed with the
Baptiste ult.
Thank you. I was blanking on the name even if I just said it.
Yep.
Quite dignified.
As we enter a pause, we can go over the team lineups, and it seems like both teams running Lucio, obviously trying to go in fast. However, a difference in a brawl comp versus more of a dive comp.
Tank's HPs are incorrect. I don't even know how it's possible. Are they able to edit the HP and stuff?
It's a custom game, so probably they are able to.
Huh.
Not entirely sure why they're changed, but
me neither. Funny though. I've never had that happen before. I've had a lot of other stuff happen in the past. You know, some guy lags out, or you know, the map was incorrect. You know, yada yada yada. But HP being incorrect, that's a new one.
I did notice Queen was dying extremely fast, even with all of her abilities active. There's that one point.
That is true.
There's that one point when they were pushed out after I believe it was the Cassidy ult, where Queen's health just vanished.
Yeah, it was after the Florida Tech initially captured, after that second push. That's when I noticed she died pretty quick. I was like, dang, didn't they just get here?
Exactly. I also noticed that Kiriko and Reaper were really sitting in the backline just trying to make something happen, but with half the team still stuck in spawn, it just didn't work out well for them at all.
I wonder if they're going to restart. I'm assuming they'll restart the round.
Yeah, it appears that there was an incorrect code put in for the game, so look like most likely going to be restarting.
I wonder if they'll keep the same lineup or not.
Well, now that we know that the settings were incorrect. That explains a lot with why Florida Tech was able to quickly get in, as Reinhardt's shield would still have the same health, so they have more barrier uh, than the
Then their
Queen would
following
offer.
tank. Yeah, that would make sense. Might be Reinhardt's, golden glory. We'll have to see
Yep.
if he keeps it up after the health changes. I'm just looking at the lineup just to see. Everything seems pretty natural from what we've seen. Junker Queen is nice to see. Not that she's super rare, but I usually only see her on Flashpoint, just because of the amount of mobility you need to have on that game mode.
Yeah. Additionally, the one weird thing is we have a Drunken Queen with a team comp that was mostly dive.
Yeah.
So it looked like they were trying to have a Drunken Queen sit on point or brawl, but then the rest of their team was very dive heavy.
Okay. Well, we're gonna be right back just because of the whole delay of the game. I'm not sure how long it will take. Probably just another 2 minutes. So we'll be right back in just a sec. What's up, guys? We're back. Sorry for the mini delay. Can't have the start of the stream without something hectic going on. Gotta keep you guys on your feet. But we looked like we figured it out. Just the wrong code, as you guys saw. So should be good to go. Looks like most of the team comp is staying the same. Obviously, I see that. Gosh, I'm blanking on her name.
Symmetra.
Thank you, Symmetra. I knew it was an S. I almost said Sombra. From both teams, just because of the portal ability you can do to get into the middle of the point super quick. We're definitely gonna see some aggression on. And I think that's. Give me a minute. He's the newest one. Oh, second newest.
You got this.
Hazard. There it is.
Hazard.
I knew it was gonna come to me.
And Manchester gets on point first using teleport and Lucio's speed. As Ryan casts and Reaper approach, Reaper is actually Greedy Rope is the first to fall on Baptiste.
Gonna trade on every side. Almost like Florida Tech's keeping up that aggression.
Florida Tech gets 3 for 2 for 1.
Chef on the Rhine. He's really just giving me so much to work with. And Kyrko resets so they can get another push going, hopefully.
And they managed to get rid of Tracer, install out Tracer's return.
The Fire Strike, too. Man, Reinhardt's got some precision on him. I like Hazard. He's fun to play.
Hazard's a very interesting character, as Manchester goes to try and go around the second option instead of taking the bridge.
I'm excited to see more Hazard because we saw him a little bit last season. He was at it towards the end of the season, at least.
Ryan's forced to back off as they push the point. Immortality Field from Baptiste as they push Manchester all the way back.
Annie and Blicky here just wiping everybody out.
Hanzo's been very consistent all game with his shots.
I agree. We generally don't have to. We haven't really had a Hanzo. I mean, we've had a lot of Cassidy's, a lot of Junkrat.
And Hanzo's ult stalls the space as they push up in towards Manchester spawn.
I definitely enjoy some Hanzo gameplay though. It's a nice change of pace. Soldier's another big one.
And
again though, Florida Tech keeping up this aggression that we saw in that first round. Even with this HP change being corrected, they just no fear.
As they get 3, and it's just left up to Manchester's Lucio and Genji to try and stall, but they just gotta survive as Genji falls.
Little boop off between the Lucios there too.
Genji's should be reviving soon. As we get combo ult between Baptiste and Cassidy, who gets 1, gets 2.
Annie just on fire today. Really keeping up the shots consistently with Cassidy here.
Manchester's just stuck in their spawn again. There's nothing they can do. As the opponent approaches 90%, they have to make some play as Genji attempts to at least stall, get them to overtime.
Just Hazard ult.
Hazard ult almost kills Lucio, but Baptiste, the lamp, saves him.
Shaney and Blicky trying to clean most of the things up. Only 2 left.
And that's just Genji left, but he's back in spawn because he had to contest the point originally. And point 1 goes to Florida Tech.
Again.
Again.
Because we're watching the same round just on repeat.
0-1.
Now, this is interesting because they've had to go against this same team comp twice. I wonder how Manchester's going to react.
I know, it's very interesting if they're going to double down and switch up their play strategy, or if they're going to switch up their heroes in general and just go for a completely different comp.
Additionally, this map here towards the spawns is very vertically oriented, so they might have an advantage, at least in the spawns, with how much movement they have on their team compared to Florida Tech.
Last map was also a good boot map. This is also just as good, if not the same, boot map. So I would like to see the big boot plays. Those are my favorites.
And Manchester switches out Genji for Sojourn. That's the only change they've made so far.
Sojourn can be deadly. She can pick off people real quick, especially with that ultimate.
And Hanzo's getting up on the high ground as Florida Tech's already on the point.
Potential boop here.
Lucio for the boop. Does he get Reaper?
I don't think he did. It was close.
Very close. There's a big brawl. Oh, he gets 2. 2 with the boop as that puts up the just Drunken Queen remaining.
Oh, you love to see
and
it.
Drunken Queen just gets folded, but Baptiste does fall, so they're down as healer as Lucio goes back to the taxi.
I'll call it here. That's gonna be play of the game. Because the map kills, they just give so many points towards the whatever system they have to use to determine it.
They are very flashy, so I would love to see it. Hopefully, we can see a couple more coming out from either Lucio though this game.
I know. I hope the other Lucio gets just as many boops. I don't care which Lucio it is.
Trade between Lucio and Reinhardt. As Hanzo's in the middle of the enemy backline and causing problems getting the Sojourn.
Good flick from Hanzo there. A little nervous for him.
Can Hanzo escape this Reaper who's chasing him down? He's been such a problem, and he gets the Reaper.
Hanzo.
As Cassidy falls.
Blicky is really just making me play for sore eyes over here. I'm just flattered.
And Baptiste manages
to commentate on.
Yeah, Baptiste manages to keep the entire team alive there. It's almost, what was that, Lucio and Reinhardt almost fall.
I mean, yeah, I really often I don't give the healers as much credit as they are due.
Reinhardt just being there, there's nothing they can do about it. They don't have the DPS to really, like, get through the shield right now.
Again, Florida Tech just doing a great job of holding them, even farther than just the objective.
We're over halfway through the point, and Manchester hasn't even gone as the ult comes out.
Ooh. It's like Surgery gets her revenge on Blicky there.
And Baptiste and Lucio both fall. This might be Manchester's chance to get on the point.
Yeah, there's Junker Queen swap to help them out.
All we have left is Cassidy holding down the point, but he falls. It's a 5v1, not a whole lot you can do. And now coming into this fight, we have Lucio and Cassidy ult for Florida Tech, and now also Baptiste and Hanzo. And out comes, I can't even keep track of it. Now the ult spam comes.
I know, everything's going on at once.
We had a Hanzo ult, Lucio ult, both, and Drunken Queen ult. numbers are in Florida Tech's favor, but their health is very low.
I know everybody's on life support right now. Need
But
some health care for everybody.
Manchester has to fall back as Florida Tech regains the point at 86%. Baptistal had 4 ults popped.
Sojourn finds another one. I just find Shani with her ult.
Baptiste saved by his lamp. As Baptiste falls, and then Drunken Queen and Reaper both falls on Manchester's, and Sojourn down.
Oh my gosh, Blicky.
Hanzo's a problem. They have nothing to deal with him.
Round was over and he still got it.
And Florida Tech wins map 1.
I gotta give credit where credit is due. Blicky was popping off, but I think Enrod's gonna have to play the game here.
Most likely.
It looks like he stole it from him. I mean,
I
well deserved.
Well deserved. He was overall just such a problem for Manchester.
He was hitting shots that I had never been able to be hitting in my life.
Yep.
Shots that I can only dream of. That was a nice one.
That was a nice 3K.
Didn't even show the last one where he got it at the last 0.1% of the objective being captured.
Yep. Overall, very solid game from Florida Tech, and honestly, the main issue with Manchester is they just have no ability to push through.
I agree, but it just really depends on these other game modes, especially push. I'm very excited to see how that's gonna play. So we'll be back with you guys in about 30 seconds to a minute with the next round. Up, everybody? We're back in the second round, best of 5 game. Hopefully, we'll see that aggression keep up, but I'm hoping that we see some similar aggression from Manchester there. Do you think the comp's going to change at all? Or you think we're going to have the same heroes going here?
Given that we're switching to Eichenwald, which is a very vertically oriented, I'm going to assume that it's going to change because for especially Florida Tech, they had a very ground-oriented team comp, and as we see, they did switch out. They now have a Mercy and a Farah.
Yeah. Farah Mercy combo is going to be interesting. I don't know if they'll just keep it for the start or keep it going for the whole game. Yeah.
However, Manchester did not have any switches. Actually, they switched Reaper for Genji. Makes sense given the verticality of the map.
They're sticking to where they know well, so hopefully it works out a little better. And we see Shaney on the Soldier here. I was talking earlier about how we don't really see Hanzo that much. We're back to Soldier, even though it was Blicky on Hanzo. Shaney's popped off as Soldier before, so
we'll see how this goes because as Farah gets up in the high ground, already attacking Manchester. Now, Florida Tech doesn't have the advantage. They're a very aggressive team as they're already pushing through.
Yeah, this Sojourn's going to have to watch for the Farah and Mercy, really. I feel like she's going to be the one that has to take care of them the most.
Florida Tech loses both Baptiste and Soldier, and now Reinhardt, as they're forced to regroup. And Mercy gets taken out in the last second. So it seems like
Manchester's pulling it together here. They're a strong start. Manchester's back. Giving us a little taste of our own medicine, if you will.
Yep. They're very aggressive, almost getting punished for it. As Genji falls to Mei.
He almost finds that second pick there.
Reinhardt pushing up with Mei and Baptiste as they go on the right side here. And they get the point.
That's big.
Farah very much able to make a lot of space as they just couldn't deal with Farah after Sojourn fell.
This Mei pick from Shaney is definitely going to help out a lot.
And Florida Tech gets the first point, but now they have to deal with getting this payload across through the entire rest of the map.
A slow but steady push. At least it's a very scenic map.
We will be seeing it for a while, most likely. As 3 parts of Manchester fall, both teams go to regroup. Mercy and Farah holding the cart as the rest of Florida Tech aggroes up.
Mercy and Farah with their little buddy action. Pushing the cart and taking names.
Reinhardt doing Reinhardt things, holding the choke as Manchester is trying to go around the flank, blocked off by Mei.
Genji thinks he's a little sneaky up there. A little shuriken action.
And out comes the Farah ult with the Reinhardt ult to get 4.
Wow. Like he's showing me he doesn't only know how to play Hanzo, but is just as good of a Farah player.
Yep. As Florida Tech's almost approaching the first point for the payload, Manchester has to come up with something soon, or they're just going to get walked through again.
And I did see that aggression I saw in that first play where they pushed us back.
Their main issue is they're so divided. As the Mei A comes out, and so does the Genji and the Queen ult.
All party.
Both supports and the tank fall as everyone but Shaney is dead for Florida Tech, and that's a clean sweep.
Like Manchester brought it together there with the alt chaos. They were able to come out unfold on top.
But now Florida Tech has both support ults versus Manchester's 1 support ult with Kiriko. We'll see how this ends up playing out.
A little bit steady getting to the point. They did take that vertical high ground though to try and contest.
Reinhardt not able to do a whole lot as Mercy gets the res off. Mercy ult comes out. As the support ults all come out except for Baptiste.
We're making it back.
Slowly but steadily. As both teams have lost 1 DPS.
Yeah, and another even trade between the teams.
And now points contested with Shaney versus Genji. And luckily has the ice block.
Reinhardt coming in.
As Manchester pops both of their current ults that they have. Sojourn's stuck.
Oh, Chef falls. He trips on a rock. He's down. Probably just to regroup. I hope.
Florida Tech is regrouping right now, but they do have still 2.5 minutes, and they're right there at the next objective. As they push up, they have a Reinhardt ult to work with, but Manchester is approaching both Genji and Queen ult. At the same time, both DPSs for Florida Tech are also building ult as well.
That Genji ult's gonna be nice. Fortunately, no Ana to support. We make do.
As Florida Tech goes up the flank route inside the castle, trying to get to the high ground because that's their main disadvantage right now. Reinhardt comes out as Farah, in the 2v1, does lose, but does the job of keeping them away.
That was an honorable fight there from Blicky.
As Lucio gets one, their Florida Tech's just down too many numbers to really fight this out now.
Enrod's hiding in the cracks and crevices, trying to stay alive.
Blicky switching back to Hanzo. We'll see if this helps. And Shaney has his ult for their next push. Florida Tech was very on top of the game earlier, but they've got installed here with all this high ground advantage that Manchester has.
They've definitely been playing this high ground to their advantage. Even caused them to switch back to some of the previous tiers they were playing. So we'll see if that makes a difference.
Out comes 4 separate ults, and it does not appear to be going in Florida Tech's favor as they lose Blicky. And they lose Baptiste. They're down a support and a DPS versus Manchester just loses Genji.
It was chaotic there, but it looks like Manchester came out on top.
And as the timer hits below a minute, Florida Tech is being pushed back slowly, and they just can't make progress right now. Blicky very confident on the Hanzo as we saw last map. We'll see if that helps at all here.
Eyeing out his prey right now.
Most of Florida Tech appears to be going for just regroup and stay together. We have 3 support ults that are possible here as the Kiriko ult comes out. And Baptiste ult for ult right now as Florida Tech's sitting on the point, but they lose 2 again.
This Junker Queen really has been putting in the work.
And the big Reinhardt ult just can't do anything. There's too many of them.
Stand though. That was honorable. 2 in character for Reinhardt.
Yep. And as the round completes, Florida Tech not able to get the first objective. Their ability to push was really hampered there. They just couldn't contest most of the high ground areas while staying on the point.
Hopefully they have a better defense here, but if not, we're seeing Manchester really bringing it back here, showing us that they're not backing down.
However, Manchester, as we saw in the last round, struggles a lot with being able to push into space. So we'll see if maybe they'll be held back for a while.
Yeah, at least with the point system, they were having some trouble. So maybe if they can get past that first hurdle and start getting the payload moving, we can see a difference in their ability to push.
They struggle a lot on chokes, especially because in the small fights in the castle, they were struggling until they managed to get the ults online. But on the wider spaces, they with the rest of the payload area, they have a lot more success.
They definitely put that vertical area pretty well on defense. Oh, I see Juno from Enrod. Oh, and Sigma from Chef. Okay, he's my second favorite tank. He's really making a good impression on me as a big tank guy.
Have found peace.
Sigma's a good pick here, as just has the ability to poke out and just stay and hold defense versus Ryan's ability to push in. But it doesn't appear that Manchester's switching their comp at all. We'll see how this plays out.
I suppose if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Now to know the unknown.
As the fighting begins, it's very much held in the choke, but the Florida Tech playing far back might be pushed out here already.
Blicky getting caught in some mayhem there. The Baptiste, I forget what it's called. The
Baptiste lamp.
Thank you.
Multiple large trades coming out here as Florida Tech loses Blicky, but they're still up in numbers.
Sigma keeping that aggression.
Manchester forced back as they almost lose one of their supports, but the numbers just start to even out now.
Cheney finding 2 more. Relentless.
Cheney's been very confident in the Soldier in this half. but we'll see if he can keep it up.
Been doing pretty good on the DPS side, him and Blicky respectively. Been getting more picks than I can count.
Actuating the barrier.
As the Manchester goes in for their push, Rock gets one, but Sigma's really far up. You can see the Reinhardt influence for Chiefs playing style still.
I agree, and I like it. It's reminding me of Ben.
And it works. They get two and don't lose any numbers, but Sigma now in Manchester's spawn. Manchester facing the same problem they did last map, just unable to get through Florida Tech's defense here.
If they keep it up, it's going to be another contest that they can't break through.
Blicky playing like all Hanzo, just holding a single angle. As Grab Flux comes out,
Ooh,
gets one.
In the room, too. Makes it a little easier for him to land those shots.
And trade out the DPSs, but
Like Blicky, again.
Blicky just keeping the numbers in Florida Tech's favor.
Blicky just needs to rename himself to Flicky, dude. 'Cause he's got too many of these flick shots.
The barrier's weakened. Oh.
Seen it too many times.
Yep. And now, as Manchester gets pushed back, out comes the Hanzo ult.
Little sneaky Hanzo all through the wall.
And here comes the ult trades here.
Mortality field helps contest, so they can use that Baptiste ult to their advantage.
Very consistently, Manchester just loses one, and their entire team's unable to get another one. They're just not winning these trades that they need to be.
To be fair, I don't know what I would be doing against Chef. He'd probably just flick and I'd be down.
I mean, that's something you could do as Queen ult almost gets two into the Kitsune rush.
That Queen ult was good. That was big. They needed that.
And they managed to almost clear the team. We'll see if Juno's able to escape here. But the lack of healing there just shows that's what they needed there was that ult. And with 50 seconds on, it appears that Manchester will be getting the point. And no changes in comp.
It gives them an extra 2 minutes and 30 seconds, give or take.
Now we might see Florida Tech struggle a little more with this verticality. Even with the changes in their comp, they're still lacking compared to Manchester's.
Hopefully they can hold the vertical just as well as Manchester did. But they did a great job for that first area. Almost had them all the way into that ult.
And the Genji ult immediately shut down by Shaney. Very, very confident play there.
While Chef picks off Kiriko with a rock and seems to also find Junker Queen in the fray.
As Manchester loses two, everything's just forced back into retreats and repositions. Hanzo.
Blicky.
Hanzo doing some Hanzo things right now.
Blicky he's shooting the bow and arrow for the love of the game.
Now, Florida Tech did manage to push back here in their initial push as Lucio falls. But we'll see as Genji flanks how this is going to play out.
You can't hide.
Now, both teams with support ults as Gravity Flux comes out and gets none.
Unfortunately. An aggressive Gravity Flux at that.
As Juno's ult comes out, they've used both their ults.
Ooh, he is able to pick Lucio off.
While again, the Sojourner ult gets cancelled almost immediately. Both of Manchester's DPS, really unfortunate ult timings. And Florida Tech is showing their ability to just hold these angles and chokes.
Oh, poor Genji.
Oh, and it appears Sojourn for Manchester switched over to Tracer. We'll see if that can help with their very dive and aggressive play style here in comp.
Let the dragon consume you.
Hanzo able to get one,
Actuating the barrier.
Little sneaky Hanzo on the point.
but it seems like Blicky may be approaching, and Blicky does fall.
Unfortunately. They caught him lacking over there. Sigma, ooh, finds it. Genji was able to get greedy. Sigma finds another one though.
And Sigma barely able to hold on, almost has the grab flux, just trying to keep the Juno alive, and it doesn't play out well, unfortunately for him.
That aggression from Lucio.
Two ults for each team, both tank ults online, as Manchester is getting the point about halfway, but they don't need to get it. They just need to get it to that spot where Vortex able to get it before.
Sigma's just waving to the crowd.
30 seconds
Yep.
remaining.
Got a lot to say.
With 20 seconds left, they still have like 40 meters to go with the point.
Almost 4 ults from Manchester on the way though. Could make a difference.
Vortex does have the high ground as Queen
There's
ult
2.
does get 3. Ult trades come out as 2 fall for Manchester and 1 for Florida Tech. 2 for Florida Tech. Shaney falls. This might be the beginning of the end for Florida Tech here.
They do find it. Ooh, Hammond.
Wrecking Ball and Moira come out. Very aggressive playstyle coming out here. As Junker Queen switches to Reinhardt in the last minute, possibly trying to play with the edges here. Pile drive.
Oh,
Chef
off the
would keep
map.
the unfortunate pile drive off the map.
Yeah, there was a banana peel there. He slipped on it. That's very unfortunate.
And Shaney falls as Hanzo's left to try and hold the point against the entire team.
Unfortunately, you know, Blicky's good, but he cannot 1v5 everybody.
And map 2 goes to Manchester.
I have to give it to them. They played that well.
They played very well.
Definitely used their ults to their advantage.
That defensive round was very impressive. Just kept them there for so long.
Love to see a Junker Queen play.
And I feel like every Junker Queen ult had so much value.
Yes.
Consistently getting 3. Like here, got 4. 5 actually, got the entire team with it.
Here was big. This was the first make or break push that really set Manchester onto the success route.
Yeah, and then overall, just a very solid game. Very solid map. And we'll see how it plays out in map 3.
Yeah, hopefully they keep up this aggression.
See you guys in a few minutes with map 3.
going to be Flashpoint. So definitely going to be interesting what we see. Chief, I apologize for not saying your name correctly, but I did like Chef more. So you know, in my past self, it'll be very dishonoring to never see Chef again. I do like Chief. It's got a nice ring to it, but I preferred Chef.
Yep. And as we're entering into the first point, we see some changes up on the comps as we have a Zenyatta and an Ana come out as well for Florida Tech, and Hazard coming back out for.
Yeah, Hazard was a
Manchester.
big one last semester when we saw him on the Flashpoint map. Him and Junkfoot are usually the two big ones just because of their mobility options.
And Ana already falling. It was kind of out of position on the team, but we'll see how this ends up.
This early pick could give them the favor for this first point. They start a steady up climb for capturing.
Flashpoint is very momentum based, so we'll see how
Yes.
this ends up as Manchester takes the opening part of the game.
We've had some fun Flashpoint games last semester. Some very clutch moments can come in. Just because of the amount of mobility there is.
Back where it hurts.
Florida Tech just unable to get through now.
Cheney does find one, but it seems like it's just been a pretty even trade-off for every
Traded
team.
out for Blicky, but Hazard's also down. We might see Florida Tech finally able to get the point.
Again, it just even trades all around right now. One guy goes down on Florida Tech, and the other one goes down.
But Florida Tech does manage to hold the point, get the point, so at
Where
least there's a little bit of percentage going up.
Hey, any percentage is good. We'll take numbers. But Manchester with that 61%, a strong start for them.
Tracer with the ult. See if she can do anything with that.
Poor Zarya. Chief is sort of stuck down here. He can't find the heals in time.
And Zarya just unable to really do anything. As Hazard pushes straight into Zenyatta and May. Cassidy doing his best to hold the point, along with what was Shaney actually going off, getting 3.
And Clutch making sure they get the upper edge here on the percentage.
Shaney and Blicky able to hold the point off almost on their own with the
I
help
expect
of
nothing less from them too.
help of Enrod there. And C3KO still has his ult, so we'll see how this ends up.
Ooh, laying off that Hazard. They were able to pick him off.
As Genji falls, John Braun out comes the ult and just not able to do anything as they both have immortality options.
There's that 99% going up to the 100. The Florida Tech takes that first point while also solidifying a team kill.
Yep. And this is what I mean by Flashpoint is just so momentum based. At the second that they're able to stop Manchester's momentum, the entire favor of the match might just go in Florida Tech's favor.
That and like, you know, as soon as we're done capturing a point, we're sprinting to the next. We're constantly, you know, getting a little tour and sightseeing.
Yep.
Ooh, Blicky was a nice little shot there. They would have found headshots, so we got the pick.
And Shaney unable to get into his ult, but Skylar able to get 1 at least. As the ult
Tech
trades
is
come
in
out, Florida
Quite
Tech
the
comes
rest
on
of
top.
the team.
Yep.
Again.
And while it was harder for Florida Tech this time, Manchester just unable to get more than 1.
Manchester with 3 ults, though, this could be their favor. Could sway the game here. We have seen them use their ults very well in the past.
Bubba Bubba Baby Hazard very consistent with that Junker Queen ult. As Maze comes out, countered by Lucio's. But it's just unable to escape it.
I'm
Traded
actually
out for
surprised that Manchester didn't stick with Junker Queen. And Florida Tech gets a triple.
Actuating the
Let's look for one more.
And the team kill again.
They're just on a whole genocide thing right now. They really don't want anybody to touch this point.
Chief back on Sigma is just unable. They're unable to really get through any of this. Out comes the Hazard ult. Gets what appears to be 2, 3.
That was big for them.
As the Flux comes out, gets Hazard and Lucio. Keep the numbers in
Chief,
equal.
though. I know he's trying to keep it stable right now.
Skylar falls. Greedy falls.
A little ring around the rosy here.
It's always like this on this point. However, Chief with no heals right now. But May with both her abilities is still not able to do a whole lot.
Ooh, that May wall was big, but it wasn't enough. Chief here kind of last stand it. Couldn't do too much without his healers.
And at the 99% in overtime, Manchester manages to take it away from Florida Tech. And now we'll see the advantage go towards Manchester's. Again, just the momentum game.
After a short regroup, we can find our footing. Reed does have his ult in the back pocket. Cheney and Enrod are close on the way, but Manchester has plenty of theirs right in their back pocket.
Lucio is a big one to take out as he was close to his ult as Mortars comes out. But watch out for a possible Genji ult here. And Genji falls as Florida Tech's able to comfortably take the point. And even as it was just not enough from Manchester to be taken.
Last second Hammond though, we contest.
As Mail comes out, manages to get Lucio again. Just Manchester has to keep touching it. They're just constantly running onto point.
Here we go. Survived a little longer.
They do manage to get Cheney. Cheney's very much on the opposing end of a lot of damage, but at the end, they're not able to keep it up.
A very strong hold there. They were able to bring it back just for a little. Had me on the edge of my seat just for a little bit with Hammond, Genji, and Kiriko all making a great attempt to try and keep that point in Manchester's favor.
And you got to feel for John Braun on Lucio. He got trapped in the mail twice.
Yeah, that Mail is just it's grueling because you sort of just freeze there and you can't really do anything. Just kind of watch it all unfold around you.
But now as we're approaching the third point, Manchester really has to keep this one. As the ult trade comes out for Zenyatta for Sojourns. Multiple ults coming out.
So we got Hanzo, or not Hanzo, we got Genji, we got Lucio. Everybody's just popping ults to pop ults.
Cheney traded out for Skylar as she falls as well. And there's Florida Tech just falling apart without their tank.
It seemed like the ults sort of were like a trade there, and then Manchester was able to capitalize a little bit on the ults not working too much in Florida Tech's favor.
Yeah, Manchester's been very solid with almost every ult trade. Without them, they kind of struggle at times, especially against full team rush. But again, very competent with their ults. And as the poke session begins, Florida Tech pushes in with Mail. And was that Lucio once again getting hit by it?
That hazard ult. Ooh, Cheap able to suck up a lot of the shots there to keep himself up.
But Manchester's unable to stay alive against all the ults and just damage coming out of Florida Tech.
Another team kill. They love it. I don't know what it is.
Yep. As the point falls to Florida Tech here, 64% is very recoverable for Manchester United. Manchester United, that's a soccer team. Whatever.
And Manchester, they're going to have to solidify this point if they want to keep it going in Flashpoint, but they did win last round, so it won't be quite over quite yet. We'll still have another game to play.
And Sigma without the barrier, this is their good chance to go in, but they're just stuck in the point right now. Again, Manchester's weakness with the chokes comes through, even with the Kitsune. They are able to break through, however.
That hazard, him getting pushed up, helped out. They find 3 picks.
And they find the 4th, and they get the team kill to return the point back to Manchester's favor.
This is good. 65%. A nice little lead they have. Got to keep it going.
Very, very solid round overall. Definitely stepped it up from the last couple rounds for both teams. As Sojourner comes out.
Maybe on this free throw.
And out comes all the ults again.
But he doesn't find one. Sojourner actually finds him.
And Florida Tech has to touch point, but they can't. They have no one who can get there. And Manchester takes their first point, staying in the game.
Beautiful. They needed that.
Flashpoint Temple.
Additionally, just the momentum, they're just able to, as soon as they got past that choke point, they're just able to keep it there and hold it for all the time they needed.
Yeah, I really think that's the only thing that hinders them is just once they get past those small little choke points or doorways that Florida Tech keeps using to their advantage, it's even game from there.
Now they have the advantage coming to this point as Manchester's already on the point, but this is a very flat area for a very mobile team comp. We'll see how this ends up.
Of course, Chief and Blicky have their ults in their back pocket. Like
Chief-
Genji and Hazard as well.
3 separate ults coming out here, and it's starting to balance out in Florida Tech's favor as 2 fall from Manchester. They're forced to retreat and regroup.
Greedy's able to find a sneaky pick there with his ult, while probably helping his team with some nice heals.
And overall, it's just very hard for Manchester to hold there. And it's a very unified Florida Tech. Being pushed all the way back, we see again that aggression that Florida Tech is using in the first couple maps that worked so well.
Now back to another doorway. Chief here getting 2.
Chief here going absolutely
Make it
crazy with the 3K. Pushing them all the way back to their spawn. But we'll see if this might, as the rest of the team revives, they may be down Jericho, but still really far up. And Manchester 3 ults, forcing Florida Tech to back up here.
That aggression always gets to me. I envy him.
And as the male comes out, they're able to get 1. As Sojourn also falls, and Tank falls. It's 3-for-1 trade for Blicky.
Don Brown putting up a good fight, able to take out Blicky.
But the
Getting
point,
away.
he's getting away to try and touch the point just to give them that overtime advantage. And he manages to get it for them, but the rest of the team is just so staggered. As the tanks go ult for ult, that closes the round, closes the game and the map here.
Florida Tech takes the flashpoint game. Honestly, a good game overall. I mean, both teams were putting up good numbers. We just saw the same problem we saw in that first round there, where Manchester sort of gets stuck in these doorways.
Yeah, and overall they just can't deal with the Florida Tech aggression where they just keep pushing them and then they'll find a good doorway to hold them through. And they're forced to fight it out.
I believe that was the legendary Blicky and Shane hold at the beginning of the round.
Yep, very solid overall. Kept Florida Tech in the game at the very beginning there.
Well, we'll be back in round 4. We'll be seeing you guys soon. Hopefully Manchester can pull it together. We can see some more rounds, maybe even go to round 5. That'd be nice on the first stream. But we'll see you guys on a few.
Initiating match.
Everybody, we're back in round 4. Good old push. This one might be a long one, but we'll see how it goes. I've seen some fast push games. It depends. Let's talk about last round a little bit more, though.
Yeah, very solid overall from both teams, but just Manchester still unable to hold off Florida Tech's aggression sometimes.
The good thing about push, I feel like it's a little bit more mobile and less corridors. You know, you have to get stuck in or doorways, so might be a game mode in Manchester's favor. I'll have to see how it goes, though. They did do good on the one map where we had to push in the hybrid. So hopefully they can maintain that.
Yeah, and Esperanza, very mobility-focused map, as we see Florida Tech switching up their comp a little bit as well to focus more dive, because it's just such a powerful team comp on this map. And this is much more of a Manchester, focused team comp, as Florida Tech's been playing very brawl.
We have mirrored DPS with the Tracer and the Genji on both sides, respectively.
And
Eva's interesting. I don't remember seeing much of her last semester really at all, so it'll be nice to see a little bit of change of pace.
Very solid counter to the Junker Queen, as Manchester's tank goes back.
Early pick on the Skylar from Enrod.
And numbers are still even as health ballers fall.
Whew.
And Enrod falls.
Very dramatically, might we add.
Yep. And both Tracers just causing so much chaos in the back lines. Making for a very interesting start here. As Blicky falls, not on his trusty Hanzo.
A little Genji on Genji action. Looks like Shani came or did not come out on top.
As the Reaper, as the Genji does manage to get the Ana there, Florida Tech forced to back up and regroup. As we can see just Manchester's comfortability with this style of play versus Florida Tech's.
Definitely pulling it together much better in terms of just the style of gameplay.
And here's the classic Queen ult from Blueberry.
The Ana ult from Greedy.
And here we might see a Diva ult come out as Diva aggresses. But unable to get anyone at this level.
Fortunately, doesn't find anyone.
At this level, it's very hard to find players who can fall for Diva like that.
I agree. Sometimes you get lucky, you find that right little slot to push it in, and everybody just doesn't have enough utility to make it go away.
Yep. And as Manchester's tank falls, Florida Tech turns it into a good contest into the point. But Manchester does have that first point, so some of them are going to spawn ahead. And overall, very, very good start to the round from both teams. Manchester able to hold off Florida Tech for quite a while there, even with their aggression.
And Manchester showing us that this might be their game, at least their game mode. So it might work this out. Might just work out in their favor.
Manchester now about to get the advantage on ults. We'll see how this plays out here. And as Ana falls to the ult, the rest of the team just buckles with her.
Unfortunately, Greedy got caught by that Tracer ult there.
And Genji trying to make something happen, but then Skylar manages to get Shani after everyone else died.
And poor Shani sort of got soloed ult there.
Enemy forward spawn.
Florida Tech now just needs time, but not something that they can afford at this point.
Your end is within my reach.
As we see the switch to Cassidy, it comes out, and tons of space being made, but they just can't push into it. As Shani falls with his ult. Queen with another very solid ult.
And Queen definitely knows how to use the ults correctly in terms of getting that versatility and that usability out of them.
And with only, what, like 20 to 50 meters left, Florida Tech's at a real disadvantage here.
I know within this first 3 minutes, I mean, Manchester's made it almost all the way here. Florida switches it up a bit, at least with Shaney and Ryan coming in.
Playing much more akin to their brawl style that they're used to. We'll see if it works out for them. But against these old, against the against the old, just can't do a whole lot.
And poor Chief, he just gets caught in the wrong place at the wrong time there.
And Manchester's a very solid round to close it out in less than 4
Honestly,
minutes.
A beautiful play from Manchester there. It's funny how we were talking about this might just be their style of gameplay, and it really does just show here. There was no doorways or anything to keep them sort of at bay. Nothing for Florida Tech really to use.
And Blue Will Baby just constant with the play of the games with the Queen. Really just solid overall, especially the ults. And we're seeing Queen really at her prime here, just able to brawl the entire enemy team as the rest of Manchester is able to push up.
I know, a quick game there for you guys. So, you know, we were kind of in and out, but we'll be back for the 5th round. You know, glad we're going all the way for our first stream. So hopefully you guys are just as excited as we are. And, you know, coming in for a 2-2, you know, it's the last round. Any team takes it. So we'll be back in just a few. What's up, everybody? We're back on round 5. This is the big finale. 2-2, so anyone's game here. Yeah, but we've seen, Florida Tech's pretty good at the holding, at doorways and such, but we've seen Manchester be pretty good in the open area when it just comes to pushing something. So I feel like both teams have an equal chance here.
You must
Well,
be fun
what are your
at
thoughts?
parties.
What do you think's gonna happen?
Florida Tech really struggled in the push part of the hybrid map
They'd have to be
before,
invited
so we'll
first.
see if they're able to adapt to it, as their team comp has definitely adapted to it. Coming in with the Wrecking Ball, Widowmaker, Zenyatta, and Kiriko, along with Jay Blicky on the Reaper. But
Manchester's sort of keeping it the same. We have a Sigma now, though, instead of the Junker Queen or the Hazard. That'll be fun to see.
Escort the payload.
now, as we enter the start of the round, very, very different playstyle for Florida Tech than usual.
We're
Very
spreading
spread
out a little
team.
bit more. Not used to them being this spread out.
But it's working. They're able to create so much space. Chief on Wrecking Ball just able to push everyone back. And as Jay Blicky falls, he does his job of moving everyone away.
Sacrifice certainly was not in vain. They were able to get a nice little start to go around this corner.
And it appears that we might be seeing a switch out of Shaney here, back to Sojourn. I honestly,
Thanks.
after Blicky's off Reaper, I feel like we could be very solid back on Hanzo, especially with the high ground capabilities on this map.
I agree, but maybe he was just taking a break. Wanted to rock the dual shotties
Yup, valid.
just for a little
but-
bit of change of pace.
And right now, Florida Tech is able to move it, but they're just in a constantly being forced back and constantly falling here. But to be fair, it's doing better than just being stalled out completely.
That is true.
Chief has been doing a lot with Wrecking Ball, just keeping everything moving, as Florida Tech's just unable to get the high ground. They can just constantly getting fallen onto. This Baptiste still comes out. Just not a whole lot Florida Tech can do to fight that.
I just gotta hide and wait for it to be over.
Yep.
Look, using the payload here as a little bit of cover.
And the other Reaper of Skylar walking right over him. And as the trans comes out, we see Shaney taking down Manchester's Reaper.
That Hammond ult's pretty big, giving him a lot of area to work with.
And overall, just very clean catch-up. Until the Kitsune comes out, we'll see if Manchester can do anything.
We got
bad.
double Kasunes crossing paths here.
And as the fight continues on, we see that Florida Tech is down numbers, but they're just more people on point.
The Yada orb was big. The damage was just lethal.
Florida Tech unable to get the first point, but they got almost all the way there. It shows the power of how far back you have to be if you're defending on a map such as Point Gibraltar. You have so much time to get back. You're so staggered. Now, with both teams having both their Reaper and Sojourn ults online, see how this ends up here.
Could be a little hectic when everybody pops their ults.
Yep. And as the poking begins, we see Chief and Reaper going in,
Hey, like a gentle
able to
rain.
get one, but Jay Blicky also
This
falls.
ends now.
There's that Sojourn ult first from Shaney here.
And manages to cancel C3 KOs at ult. Very solid. And Shaney training out for Luo Baby, as Chief is just holding down the entirety of the